Trace, thank you very much. So now for more on this, I'm joined by James Fitzgerald, a retired FBI profiler and forensic linguist who helped to catch the Unabomber in 1996. He's also the author of A Journey to the Center of the Mind. James, good to have you back on the story tonight. Thanks for being here. When
Hi,
you
Martha.
look at the evidence so far in this case, tell me a little bit about what stands out to you.
Well, first of all, we're only 8 to 10 hours into this whole thing, and I guess George Soros found his package a few days before, so a little bit early for that. But very much remarkably, the envelope that I saw, at least the one that went to John Brennan at CNN, looked very much like some of the Unabomber's old mailings, and that is the overstamped aspects on it in the right-hand corner. Of course, he hand-wrote his documents. He would never use a computer to print out addresses. But the linguist in me noticed that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the last name, is spelled missing a C, and John Brennan's name is missing an N. And that was kind of surprised me, and that I have a feeling that was done on purpose to make this look like somebody who doesn't really know who these people are, and that wasn't an honest mistake. If he had this much anger and vitriol against these people, you'd think he would know how to spell those names.
So you believe this is a single actor, most likely?
Almost all bombers in the past have been single bombers. They become serial bombers, of course, if they're successful and don't blow themselves up. What we have here, kind of, is a mass bomber. And it's very unusual. Kaczynski only mailed 2 bombs at the same time on one occasion. That was in '93. Mark Condit, and he only did 5 bombings back in March. He did it, I think the second and third and fourth bombings were together. And so now we have this guy who put at least 5 bombs there. So they're definitely linked. They're definitely together. These are almost always one guy. But of course, we can't rule out there was help somewhere down the line.
Yeah, what about but you talked in your notes earlier about the potential that it could be a false flag. What did you mean by that, James?
Well, a false flag is they also call it black ops, some kind of an operation where a crime or a letter or something is done to make it look like it belongs to one entity when it actually, in real life, belongs to the other. And I'm by no means locked into this theory, but I'll tell you this, Martha, it either comes, these devices were either made and sent by, a right-wing guy who doesn't like the Dems. It's made by, and we can't rule out international aspects to this. Russians messed with our 2016 elections just using Facebook. Could they have done this? But of course, the other one is that false flag. And there could be someone in there, some Democrat, that, low-level person, I'm not suggesting anyone on the top, but who just decided, you know what, I'm going to put this out because 2 weeks before a major election, who's going to look like the bad guy here? The Republicans.
Fascinating. Now, you also believe that this is likely someone who wants to be discovered in some way, that they're likely to send more letters, more information if they're not found quickly.
I'm not sure they want to be discovered, Martha, but they may want to get their point across somehow. These bombs didn't, these IEDs, improvised explosive devices, didn't detonate, and that's the good news. But it sounds like they were sophisticated enough that they could have. If some kind of the triggering device was manipulated in some way, that could have happened. So, of course, the investigators are looking at all the pieces of these devices, but there may be some sort of a letter or social media aspect, a videotape or something, the equivalent to that comes in the mail, DVD, whatever, and will claim responsibility for this. But we're too early. This person had a point they wanted to make with these devices, and quite frankly, they've made them.
Yeah, I'll say. We're going to stay on it, James. I hope you'll come back because you always have such fascinating information about how this kind of investigation is handled from all your own experience. So good to see you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha.